Welcome to JGod Gaming. In today's video I wanted to focus on the Longshot medal in Call of Duty WW2 and how to get these on a consistent basis on every single map. I had seen a few videos about the Longshot medal and I want to kind of debunk some of these myths that are out there and confirm some of the best ways to actually get these Longshot medals. In one video I saw, the guy actually said don't use advanced rifling because it'll actually increase the range you need to kill someone at to get a Longshot medal. And that is false. In this first clip, I'm using the M1941 without any attachments other than a reticle or a sight so that I can actually just aim down and get a good shot. You can see right here, this range, I get a Longshot medal. I do the same thing, but just a little bit closer to establish that the Longshot medal occurs right around this 40-meter mark. So right now, when I get the kill, right around the 38-ish meters, I don't get a Longshot medal. Right here I switched to advanced rifling and stood in the same spot I got that first Longshot medal, and you'll see in the kill cam that it does have advanced rifling. I go on to do the same test with the FG42 and the M1 Grand just to see that each weapon has this same profile that a Longshot occurs right around 40 meters. That was the FG42, and this clip coming up right now is the M1 Grand. So regardless of which rifle you're using, you will get a Longshot at approximately 40 meters, as you can see in the screen. So why do Longshots even matter? So in this game, as many others in the past, you need Longshot medals to actually accomplish your goal of completing the camos. In this particular game, you need 10 Longshot medals to unlock one of the camos to eventually get the gold camo. Now that all the testing part's out of the way, I'm going to actually show you specifically on each map where and how to get these Longshot medals. One thing I did want to explain about these individual maps is I only have about 2, 3, 4, even 5 in some cases vantage points, but keep in mind that these vantage points can be seen from either side. So if you're standing on the opposite side, you can get a long shot from that side as well. I just didn't want overly complicated and cluttered maps. If you're still watching the video, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. First map we'll be looking at is AACHEN, and we'll be starting off the top side of the map. So you can see from that window vantage point that a lot of people like to hang in. As long as someone is near that tank towards the left, you're going to be able to get that Longshot medal. Works, like I said, the opposite way, and from the train cars on both sides, they have to be approximately 60% away from you compared to the next trolley cart. So you can kind of see in the middle where that vantage point leads you. From the lower side, it kind of lines up with that doorway. So as long as they're beyond that doorway to the library, you should be able to get that long shot. Next up is ARDENNES FORREST, and on this one you can see there's approximately 3 vantage points. And so with the doubling of that, you have about 6. There are some that are better than others, but each of these you can get a Longshot medal. For example, the one on the right, getting people right off the spawn. On the top, getting people right off the spawn, and the bottom left is getting people right off the spawn. So those are the ideal vantage points, but if you're coming off spawn, you could also get people in those areas as well. Next up is FLAK Tower, and on FLAK Tower you can see that from these middle windows you got good vantage points. These ones are a little bit trickier just because the angles, they have to be in the perfect spot, or else you're not going to be able to get that Longshot medal. The same as the one at the top right. That one is really only going to work if they come straight across and head left off of their spawn from the angle of the map. So odds are these ones are probably the hardest ones to get, but ideally the best spot's going to be those middle windows as people come around and try to pass on that left side of the map. Next map is Gibraltar, and on Gibraltar there are a few. One is probably the common one that a lot of people thought of, is just that window in that cave area on the bottom side. But that works from the opposite window as well. But you can see is they're lined up on that head glitch. They should be able to be killed and get that Longshot medal right there. From that window, it's the same thing on the opposite end. As long as they are beyond that little silo thingy, you should be able to get that Longshot. The middle one on the right, you can actually get them coming off a spawn if your back is against the wall. And then up the top, if you're up top in the building, you should be able to get the angle of the bridge, and vice versa. If you're standing by the tank by the bridge, you should be able to hit the person back there and get that Longshot medal as well. Next up is GUSTAV cannon, and prior to getting started I would figure this one is probably the most likely to get those Longshot medals, and it is the case. So just from that one vantage point, I could have done probably dozens of vantage points, but you can see that one vantage point on top of the actual cannon. You can actually get people off of that head glitch at the top, people that run across towards the left, and then your angle all the way on the bottom left. So those are those from that, just that one vantage point. So you can use that same idea for each of the corners of the cannon and get those same angles. As far as this window on the right, you can see is if they're at that building or in the middle of that building or further, they're going to be able to get that long shot medal. You can hit people off the cannon and get that long shot medal as well. Next up is London Docks, and on London Docks it's probably one of the harder ones just because there's really only one spot. I was able to find a few others, but pretty much they were unrealistic. People wouldn't be standing in that location and you standing in the opposite, so it's not realistic. So for this one, you can be in the middle and shoot the top of the map or the bottom, and then if you're on the bottom of the map, you can actually shoot across this alleyway, and vice versa from the top. So that's pretty much it for London Docks. Next map is Point du Hoc, and on Point du Hoc there's really only this middle vantage point, shooting from bunker to bunker, and there is one if you do that right side where you can see that one shooting into the other bunker. As long as you put your back against that wall, you can actually shoot someone when they're in that doorway or further back. You will get a long shot medal. On Saint Marie du Mont, you can actually see there's a few different vantage points. You can get someone coming off the spawn if you're standing next to the building and shooting towards that spawn on the bottom. If you're in the windows on either side, in that middle area, you can actually shoot from across from that building. You can see kind of the angle and the actual distance that you need to cover to get that long shot medal. Also, if you post yourself up in the corner on the right towards that top side, you can actually see if someone's coming out through that doorway. You can actually get a long shot medal as long as they don't cross up in that doorway. So that's pretty much straightforward. Not too many on this one, but you can see these ones kind of double on each side. And the final map is USS Texas. On USS Texas, it's pretty interesting because if you're in those middle windows, you can actually shoot across to people camping where people typically camp, and you can get long shots there. And then also from the top sides of the edges of the ship, either at the top side you see where the blue one is or that bottom one at the green. Both of these are great angles for getting those long shots as well. The one on the bottom you can actually do on the opposite side as well, so it's just really a matter about positioning yourself. But plenty of long shot medal opportunities on this one, especially if you post up in the right position. That's all the maps for the long shot medals. So if you did enjoy the video in any way, remember to click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have an idea for future videos, please leave a comment. I'd like to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I'd like to say thank you to all my recent subscribers for their recent support. If you want to help me out even a little bit further to help me grow my channel and keep this content coming, go ahead and make sure you share your favorite videos of mine. I wouldn't say share them all, just share whatever your favorites are, because I'm sure if you like them, other people will too. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.